And now, News 2 Sports Overtime.
The Citadel with one of the greatest finishes in program history. The final minute you have to see coming up. And a couple of Carolina guys making their mark in the Senior Bowl yesterday. How the one and only Hunter Renfrow just keeps opening eyes. Good evening. Welcome into News 2 Sports Overtime. I'm Logan Reever. So the last two Saturdays, we had a total of 9 college basketball games involving local teams here. 5 on the first one, 4 on the second. Every single one of them resulted in a loss. Now, how in the world do you possibly make up for that bad of luck? Well, our leadoff did more than just that.
The leadoff is sponsored by Universal Marble.
The Citadel. There is no Universal or Six Flags in the area, but the roller coaster ride has very much been in play for the last 2 months, from winning 7 games in a row to now besting that with losing 8 in a row coming into yesterday. There's a reason they play every single second of those 40 minutes, folks. They welcomed in rival VMI on Pack the Mac Day, their biggest crowd in over 2 years, with thousands in attendance, with the majority of them being cadets. What better atmosphere could you ask for, right? Zayn Najdawi getting the feed from Lou Stallworth for the finish. Then Lou says, "I know you're the postman, but I got my own style to show." Nifty up and under for the basket. Then Najdawi finds Connor Kern, who works it back to Lou. Plenty of space, plenty of nets, folks. He fancies that triple. Afterwards, he tries to get the massive crowd into this one. He goes, come on now. All right, so now we got the Rice baby signs going, and that would be for one Caden Rice. He must have been looking their way, because my man had himself a stretch in the first half. First the and one. Guess who likes that? Who said the cadets can't boogie? He gets down a little bit. Then it's the grain guy. Tip, and down the other way he goes for the hardcore throwdown. And just, you know it, those guys letting loose, they can hardly contain themselves as the Citadel finds themselves up by 8 at the half. VMI, though, they came to play in the second. Corner 3 ball here, and from about the 10-minute mark on, both teams were just throwing blows at each other, metaphorically, but also close to physically as well. Here with the Najdawi miss and the fight for the board, Hayden Brown in there for the Dogs, Tyler Creamer for VMI. You said you wanted sugar in that coffee? No, I said creamer. He must not have liked the barista's choice. Some words and pushing from both sides, something to make it a little bit more heated down the stretch. Late game now, Stallworth connects after the stop and pull up. Okay, situation VMI, up by 2, 40 seconds left. Who else are you going to give it to in this situation? Stallworth has been the guy all year, and this time is no different. After he missed game-time shots at Chattanooga last week, he delivers, tied at 82. VMI looking to win it from the corner 3. No. Follow is no good as well. Najdawi with the board over to Kason Williams, who is in for only defense, but it is his offense that takes center stage as he flies in for the game winner. You can't write scripts like these, folks. His only basket of the game, and it's the biggest one. He's engulfed by his teammates. And then here come all those cadets. What a scene it was at McAllister. Lou Stallworth yelling, "I love you" to him over and over. What a moment for the senior. Afterwards, he tried to put it all into words.
Something in my body just told me something good was going to happen. And then after a shot went up, they missed the shot. Zane got the rebound. I ran to Zane, grabbed the ball, looked up at the clock, seen 4.5 seconds. My mindset was just get to the rim and score the bucket. And everything opened up, and I just took it to the cup. A dream come true. I mean, everybody, as a little kid, you just dream about hitting that one shot. You always practice in the gym by yourself, and to come out here in front of a big crowd, it just tells it all. It's crazy just to be in that moment, the ball to be in my hands, and everybody just watching me. It was just something special to be in. At first, I felt it was all love. After a while, I couldn't breathe. I back up, I can't breathe. It's too much space. I need space. But it was great. Yeah.
Now, as insane as that was, you might want to bring out the inhaler, because we have another pulse-pounding finish. This time, it's less fun for you. Clemson making the trip to number 21 NC State. You know how hostile it gets over there. Crazier than nickel shot night at your local bar. Speaking of crazy, how in the world are you supposed to stop John Newman III when he gets up in the air? Will still raising the roof also? Didn't that end in like the 2000s? Second half now, tie ball game, Amir Sims the miss, but Elijah Thomas brings it in, and he's going to bring it home. Tigers by 2 after his make. 4-point lead now. 3.5 to go. Markel Johnson getting nasty. His triple brings the Wolfpack a little bit closer. To one it goes. Same score. Johnson is going to try another one. This time it's going to be the long rebound after the miss gathered in over to Marquise Reed, who will take the slap and the basket. Thank you. Back to a 4-point game. NC State back down on the other end, and it's Torin Dorn. It is neither confirmed nor denied that he is the son of Dr. Seuss. Back to one it goes. And now we're just getting nuts with these sequences. We go one miss, two misses, and then finally a third miss until Clyde Trapp says enough of that. He scores and makes it a 3-point game. Now the lead is 6. There's 20 seconds left. I mean, who's really trying at this point? Answer, it's Markel Johnson. 3-point play, and it's a one-possession game. They work it down to a 1-point game in the final seconds. Reed misses the free throw, and it's time for the roof to legitimately get raised, because that thing flies over to Braxton Beverly, who hits it from Pluto. Yes, a sure win to heartbreaking defeat. It goes a collapse, if you will. 69-67 Wolfpack, a truly unreal day. SC and Stillwater taking on Oklahoma State, a 9-point first-half deficit, cut into by Chris Silva. Then Trey Campbell says, that looks pretty good. We'll have 2 of those, please. Second half after that, Gamecocks with the lead until Lindy Waters III from the top of the key snags it right back. Again, an SC lead, but this one, how can you complain? That's just a freakish play. Cameron McGriff, and then they pile onto it with a 3 from deep as 20 seconds to go after that. Gamecocks down by 3. Waters is going to put the nail in the coffin. The floater is good. The outcome's bad. 74-70, your final.
We didn't execute what was called. Our guards today I'm just telling you, we're so bad. I don't want to diminish Mike's win. I don't want to do that. But we were bad yesterday. Like yesterday might have been the worst practice we've had since November. It was really bad. We didn't execute anything today. We were really bad, really, really bad.
Did you like looking at that bold spot? I know. Earl Grandin, C of C, H2O. Adam Sandler likes what he's doing there. Cougars welcome in William and Mary. Joel Brantley 2 minutes in. Don't need Big Sean to tell you he's got the moves. Step back looking silky. Then he fires over to Grant Riller, who says, you take that thing right back, my friend, and decides to pull up, buries it. A good day for the roll guys yesterday. Zep Jasper, the friendly ghost, hits bottom on this occasion. Afterwards, then it's Marquise Pointer with a nice feed to Sam Miller, who scoffs the first one, but says he can't let that pretty assist go to waste. Cleans up his own miss. He had 7 off the bench. This time around, it's going to be Riller, takes 2 defenders with him. And hey, you just can't leave Sammy like that. That they do. Easy finish for him. And while we show you the guys who played a part, time to show you the leading role in this play. Grant Riller brought that hard hat and boots going to work. First the spin and fade, followed by the hesitation move to the cup off glass. Cherry on top now, final seconds of the first half. Riller, clock winding down. You know what's all ISO, baby. Gets him with the cross. That's pure. He had 24 for the night, keeping that average steady around there, 74-59 final. And afterwards, he says, guys, stop giving me credit.
A lot of the times me and JB get the shine just because of the points, but a lot of the stuff the other guys do are really the reasons why we win, especially Keith, Sep, Sam, Nick, and then Jay Rich and Jalen. And even Brav, even if they're not making shots, they just do so much for our team defensively and just being a decoy, if anything. So they're great players.
I mean, I feel like we're in a renovation mode. You know, I mean, we had a tough stretch, and we had some breakdowns, so we needed to go back to some day-to-day basic fundamental things. You know, but some of that is the usefulness of some of the guys coming off the bench. You know, you're thinking about 3 or 4 guys who hadn't played a game in the Charleston uniform that are playing minutes. And so just making sure we tighten up some things so we could, as we continue to go down the stretch of this season.
Yeah, we got to keep pushing, one game at a time, one possession at a time. We'll be all right. We just got to keep doing what we do and playing Charleston basketball. And it's easy when we at home. You know, our fans won't let us down, so we can't let them down either.
Bucks in action, another conference game, this time against Gardner-Webb. They got out to a fast start fueled by Flanders Fleming Jr., who has the best name in the game right now. He had 10 points to go along with 7 rebounds and 6 assists. He always seems to find a way to beef up that box score. It's a good win with Gardner-Webb coming in at 12-8, and they hold them to 15 points in the first half. That's some clamps right there. Only the Bucks' second conference win, but also their 6th at home. They've been tough to beat there. Hunter Renfrow and Deebo Samuel taking center stage with the nation's top seniors. Highlights coming up.
And now, the OT Spotlight.
Many thought their last football game came in their school's bowl games, but that's not the case. One last go around at the Senior Bowl. Reporter Robbie Baker breaks it all down.
Well, the sun has set here on the 70th annual Reese's Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. As the sun went down, temperatures have dropped a little bit here, but it was an absolutely beautiful and perfect day here for some football, and we saw some great football action on the field. Take a look at some of the highlights from today. 34-24, the North team won today's game. The South team actually won each of the last 3 years of the Senior Bowl battles, but the North team prevailed today. It was a bit of a sloppy and defensive battle in the first half, but the offenses really opened things up in the second half. Talking to some guys after the game, they said this was the culmination of a week's worth of hard work paying off here to get to take the field at Ladd and show off for the NFL coaches and scouts.
A lot of fun, obviously great opportunity to come out here and just be a part of the Senior Bowl. Such an honor. Get to play with a lot of great players, be around a lot of great coaches. It was a lot of fun this week.
Of course, every year at the Senior Bowl, all eyes are on the quarterbacks, and West Virginia's Will Greer had a very good Senior Bowl this year. Only 4 for 8 in his limited playing time, but led a couple scoring drives in the first half. We also had the Alabama marching band here. It was a real football celebration here in the port city of Mobile, Alabama. But for now, wrapping things up here at Ladd People Stadium, I'm Robbie Baker. Back to you guys.
The game also featured a couple of guys that you hear from maybe once or twice from around here. Got some NFL coaches teaching, both going on it. Little John Gruden action. West Virginia's Will Greer was quarterbacking Southside, and wouldn't you know that 2 rivals turned into teammates. South Carolina's Deebo Samuel here with the slant. That would be his only catch. On the same squad was Clemson's Hunter Renfrow, who hauls in this desperation heave from Greer. It's a mighty fine play. He actually led the South in receiving with 5 catches for 63 yards. Random thought alert, why don't people eat Cracker Jacks during the winter? Is that not allowed? I guess it's very much a summer snack, but why not break it out during other times of the year? I bring that up because the sport most associated with it is back. It may be the chilly time of year, but January, with CFC held their first practice back to kick the season off on Friday. Lots of new faces and veterans, not a lot in the middle, so 2 different spectrums there. But what is known among them is that all this team has already is something to prove.
As always, a chip on our shoulder here at College of Charleston. We feel like we can compete with the best in the nation, and we're looking to do that this year. So we take every year, every season, we come in with a chip on our shoulder and look to show that we're the best, one of the top teams in the country.
Yeah, we're definitely an underdog. I mean, that's what we feel like we are. I mean, we haven't played to our ability in 3 years, and that's something that, has been eating at us for, that time. We think we're the best team in the league, and no one else needs to except for us, and that's something that we hold with us everywhere we go, and every single practice, every single swing and throw that we take.
Clemson baseball also getting things underway after they were eliminated in the NCAA tournament last year. They start this year ranked at number 14 in the nation, but also without 2 guys that would make the crack of the bat sound like a brick crashed through the window. That would be Seth Beer and Chris Williams, who combined for 40 of the team's 98 home runs. Coach Lee says power isn't exactly what's on the squad's minds this year.
What we do have in terms of personnel on the field is a group of guys who are a little more dynamic, who are a little bit faster, a little more athletic. I think it gives us the opportunity to do more things. I think you always want an offense that can score when the wind's blowing in and when the conditions aren't very good for offense that day. You want to feel like, as a coach, that you've got a lineup that can still score runs. I think we got a better chance to do that based on the skill set of some of our guys.
Gamecocks also getting underway, and let's choose to focus on one young returner. That would be the sophomore outfielder Andrew Eister. He was the Summer League's MVP, and many out there are saying, hey, this guy's the real deal and we love him. Typical stuff your grandma says to you. But he says he can't be influenced by all of that.
You see all that stuff on Twitter and everything, and it's cool to see that, and it gave me a good feeling. I liked it, but at the same time, none of that stuff matters when you come in here. So, I had expectations for myself, coaches had expectations for me, and hopefully just coming to the spring, and I know I'm going to do well. So.
On Tuesday night, the Bishop England girls basketball team dominated Hanahan, a rival at that. With that win, Coach Paul Rooney clinched his 700th Career win, about that, 700 wins. That's so long to be coaching and doing it successfully. The funniest part was Coach Rooney didn't even know it. He said, oh, that was tonight? But he is happy and thankful for the great team he has gotten to coach. Stingrays starting their second half of the season after the All-Star break, and when you're getting the rust off, sometimes fluky things are just meant to be. We got bodies flying around. Nobody knows where the puck is until I guess somebody technically scores it, but that's how you give up your first goal back. Not to be too concerned, though. Grant Bessie says, enough of this. He goes 4-hole to tie it up at 1. Then afterwards, Patrick Gall, a.k.a. Meat Gall Sub on Twitter, that is. He's on the attack, doesn't get it on the first try, but if at first you don't succeed, just hammer that baby home until you do. That's what my father always said, or maybe some other guy. 2-1, Rays win. Stick with us after the break because we all love a good homecoming story, right? It's the best. And the best part, his nickname is Buddha. Yeah, I know you're not going anywhere or leaving with that TV dial right there. Stick around.
Now, Carolina Connection, sponsored by Preferred Home Services.
Carolina Connection time. Big news this week for South Carolina Gamecocks fans. Deion Sanders' son, Shiloh, is a cornerback. He's in the ESPN 300 list, and he committed to play for the Gamecocks earlier this week. So somebody to watch out for. And coming up on February 1st, the River Dogs annual Hot Stove Banquet. This year, the headliners are, just some big names casually. Justin Smoke, Chris Singleton, Mike Veck headline the whole banquet. At halftime of the Garrett Academy basketball game on Friday, a former Falcon making his return to the school. Trayvon Buddha Sanders, former lineman, has his number 63 jersey retired. On top of being a standout player on the field, Trayvon did as much, if not more, in the classroom. He is now set to graduate from Troy University. He was also recently featured in the NFL Players Association East-West game at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. He talked about the feeling that night and coming back where it all began.
It's pretty cool. Just coming back to my city and just getting this type of recognition, it's pretty cool. Not everybody gets to get their jersey retired from a high school. My family did. They pushed me a lot outside of football, and just me, myself, knowing that I would have to have good grades to make it into college. It's just something I always push myself, and my family always push me to be real good in school. So that's something that was always good.
Coming up after the break, if you are complaining about going to the gym in the morning, you'll be far from it after watching what this chick does. Stay tuned. We are giving a new meaning to the term girl power, folks. 15-year-old, yes, she can't even drive yet. Mahalia Reeves, about to bench 355 pounds. That is heavier than Clemson defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. There you go, girl. Check out the dude after who was just as psyched, if not more. She's like, yeah, I actually did something. That is truly incredible content.